it going? And before you go and ask me in the comments, why do you have this mustache on? I am going to let me know if my audio is coming in clear, okay, as well. I'm pinning this comment on the top. It is Movember, and I'm a little bit late to Movember. I planned on doing this beforehand, but men's health is important. Men's mental health is important. Go donate to Movember, the good cause. So I'm going to be growing out the stash for the rest of the month. I know it doesn't look appealing, and to be honest, click-through rate is going to go right back down to where it belonged to. But you know, it's worth it. So there we go. And by the way, Tesla's sitting at 10,000. Tesla's sitting at $1,094 as we speak right now. Oh my god, the stash. $1,093. I'm hoping we can break $1,100 on this stream. We briefly did right before. How's it going? Faisal, Andy, Paco, Harry, Ben, Digital, Marco, Studio, Wolfgang, Ferdinand, Hedgie, Connor, Think Real. How's it going, everyone? Let me know. Respect the stash. Thank you, Jupe. Looks fishy. I know it doesn't look great, to be honest, but again, remember, it's Movember. Let's donate to men's health. That's what I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it. And to be honest, I feel like I have the obligation to do something like this, right? You know, and by the way, right now we're dumping on this mustache news, but hopefully it'll be back up soon enough. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from in the chat as well. 1,091 sitting on Tesla, looking like someone is dumping some shares here, but we just have begun Power Hour. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from as well in the chat. Ontario, Amsterdam, Roger from South Carolina, nice. Paul, nice to see you as well. Germany, Essex, Fort Lauderdale, Faisal, welcome. Germany, Washington State, Ukraine, London. Elon is selling. I mean, whenever we go down like this, it always feels like it probably is likely Elon selling. But you know, in the last couple of days, we've been so green. I just don't know where. I'm trying to figure out what the market dynamics are on this right now. So, Dunbar, there we go. West Virginia, San Antonio, Bulgaria. How is volume today? Volume is 27.3 million. So I'd say a pretty decent volume day, right? Taiwan, Virginia, New Hampshire, Niagara Falls. There we go. Vancouver, Arab. How's it going? Brussels, Victoria, Detroit, Seattle, California. Well, you got people from everywhere. Thank you, Matt. Matt says he likes my cut G. I appreciate that. Okay. So remember, in times like this, let's take a look at the macro markets as well. The NASDAQ is also experiencing a similar dump into close. Well, I mean, it's not a dump yet, but similar weakness at the moment. S&P 500, same thing as well. So I wouldn't expect anything different from Tesla. The VIX is still holding steady below 17. Ideally, the VIX can come down. Let's put this on a minute. Ideally, if the VIX can come down under $16, I think that's bullish. And the 10-year yields are still sitting at 1.6%. So, you know, take this with a grain of salt. Macro is dumping as well. So it's not just Tesla related that we're seeing at the moment. You know, I'm not entirely sure on what Elon's plan is to sell the remainder of his shares. Like, I don't know what he plans on doing, like dumping when or how often. Like yesterday we saw he dumped about 934,000 shares again. Last Monday he did the same thing. Hold on, today's Wednesday. So yeah, sorry. Monday of this week he dumped the same amount as the Monday of the preceding week. And it just feels like we don't know entirely his plan around when he's going to stop, if he's going to stop, his general cadence of selling. There's been some good resources put out there. You know, there were some rumors, which, by the way, I do not believe these rumors really at all until I hear otherwise from like a credible source, that Elon is dumping his shares on or privately selling his shares through block trades or dark pools. You know, I saw some dark pool trades come in, and we can take a second and look at them in a couple minutes here. But he's selling them on the open market. Like, it's just, you know, well, I mean, at least that's what I thought, right? And I think he's going to continue to do that. I think he wants to sell in the open market as to, you know, sell to the general Tesla investor group at the same opportunity that these institutions can buy. I think that's what Elon would likely do. Let's see here. Yeah, Gregory says it says a lot that the stock's rising despite him selling. Absolutely. And you know what? Let me just pull this up here 1 second. I'm going to take a look at macro again. It looks like we're easing up a little bit here on the macro. I'm not sure entirely what news came out, but obviously there was some news for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to fall as suddenly as it did. I can take a look here 1 sec. Pull up cars, but let's take a look at our watch list here. Ford's up 40 basis points. GM's up 3%, 3% on the day. Don't know how. Honda down 1.5%. What's interesting here is Rivian is down 15% on the day. Lucid, who had a killer day yesterday, is down 5% on the day today. It was down more, but again, Rivian, folks, I bought Rivian on the IPO day at 110, and I sold a little. It was a trade, right? I only had it for like 7 minutes or something like that, and I sold, made a quick profit. I should have held, right? Everyone says that on IPO day, should have held, but to be honest, I wasn't really interested in holding Rivian. Remember, folks, like Rivian has a lot of work to do, and they very well might be the company that makes it because Amazon's backing them. But until they start delivering vehicles in any sort of capacity that we care about, it's going to be interesting. Vern, how's it going? Wonder why your VWAP line is different than mine. This is here. Let me go back on Tesla. VWAP on Tesla is sitting at 1,089 right now on Tesla, on my Webull at least. So let's see if we can break past up 1,090 again. Again, macro related downfall on Tesla here. I've got my CNBC pulled up as well. Let's go to that.
Electric vehicles in-house, which is why they are developing their own EVs, not with Rivian, but on their own. So I would not be surprised that at some point Ford says, you know what, let's cash in. Let's take our investment from Rivian and we'll take our profits and we'll wish them well and we'll go on our ways. I mean, that's a lucrative stake that they are holding right now, even with the sell-off of Rivian shares today. But again, I don't expect that to happen right away, Wilf. I think that that's just something that, as I talk with people in the industry, most expect that to happen at some point.
Yeah, presumably they are locked up as well on that capital, but certainly significant paper gains that they're sitting on, as you mentioned, despite today's sell-off. Phil, thank you. After the break, the man who founded Google Ventures will join us.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, it's definitely interesting. Here's the problem. I see some comments here about Rivian puts and Lucid puts. I don't generally like going long premium even on the put side when implied volatility can be so high during times of just huge volatility. And, IPO days, IPO weeks generally carry a lot of trading, a lot of Momo traders in there, momentum traders in there. And so what you'll find sometimes is even the stock will go down, but your puts stay flat maybe, or maybe you're even at a loss because implied volatility crashes back down. So I'm not generally very excited about buying puts on stuff with really high volatility. I mean, you could make the argument that you could sell calls, but I would never sell naked calls. I think that's a dumb strategy. I don't really advise that, do your own DD, but really selling naked calls is it's just dumb in my opinion. Unlimited risk on the upside, right? Like we know what happened with GME, AMC, all these meme stocks. So anything can theoretically happen. And so, if you talk about selling premium, maybe you could sell call spreads on the upside for generally, a lot of these stocks. But we saw how long it took QuantumScape, for example. If you guys remember QuantumScape, didn't they hit like $100? Yeah. So they hit $132. This is QuantumScape when they first, came out and they SPAC'd and all this sort of stuff. They hit $130, right? And then they came crashing down within a couple of weeks post Christmas, back down to $45, but still hovering within that range. And then it came as low as $19. A lot of bag holders on this, right? On something like QuantumScape. So, I don't, and when it comes to shorting stocks, I'm not a shorter. I don't like shorting stocks. I don't think it's entirely ethical. I mean, they have their place in the free market. It's just not something I do. So yeah, I mean, buying puts, not really something that excites me too much on it. Yeah, I mean, Ford's lucky, right? Ford's lucky that they own a good piece of Rivian. What is it, like 1 million shares they own or something outstanding? Yeah, it's kind of nuts, to be honest. So let me know in the comments what your guess is about how many shares you think Elon has sold today. How many shares do you think he sold today? And that's assuming that he sold some shares. So I guess if you think it's zero, you can let me know as well. But let me know what your thoughts are on that. My guess is going to be, actually, I'll wait for everyone's comments to come in before I start guessing, so I don't cloud any judgment or guesses. Harry says 1.5. Vern says 3. Hoping for at least 2. 1 million says Raptor. 3 would be awesome, right? 700 to 800,000. I think that probably makes a lot of sense, Greg. About 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Well, what is volume? That probably help you. Volume is 28 million for all intents and purposes as we record this right now. So 28 million. So do with that whatever you want. 1.6, 8 million says Raz. Oh man, can you imagine if Elon just dumped the rest of his shares today on like a dark pool and just called it over? That was it. 5 million says Josh. Danielle says 500,000. My guess is gonna be, and maybe we can come back to this tonight, or I can come back and take a look if anyone got this on the, or hit the nail on the head here. My guess is gonna be, I'm gonna say the same as he did on Monday. 934,000 and
trading
091.
flow signal for PAGS call. Strike 35.
Sorry. I'm gonna say 934,091. Sorry, that was an alert I had set here. What is this? Let's see here. 10 plus orders in. No, nothing cool here. Let's take a look for a second, if we can, on Tesla's Algo flow chart to see how the algos are trading Tesla at the moment. This is Trade Idix. I don't know if I have them in my description. Whatever. I'll post it in a second here. But essentially, they have an algo flow chart. And let me reset Zoom here. That essentially tries to plot line how the call or put flows for said company is going. And maybe I'll move myself on the left hand side here. There we go. I'll put myself up here. And you can see right now we got a bullish divergence on the algo flow at least. And so, pricing, or hold on, what is this? This is a Qs, is it? Let's see here. Let me put in Tesla. So we got some bullish divergence here on Tesla as well, meaning there are a large amount of call flows respective to put flows or whatever calculation that they put into this. And so I don't take this, I definitely take this with a grain of salt, but it's just a quick and easy way that I can take a look at to see how calls versus put flows are going in terms of strength. Gamma exposure, what's interesting with gamma exposure is at 1100, it seems like there's kind of there's a large gamma positive exposure at 1100 in terms of price. And to my knowledge, large positive gamma exposure would mean that it dampens how strong price action can be, meaning market makers will sell into rips and they'll buy into dips. And so you'll have this mitigating of an effect. Whereas if you have a large negative gamma exposure, you have the opposite effect where market makers have to buy into rips and they have to sell into dips. So you see a magnifying of upward price movements or downward price movements. And again, this knowledge generally comes from their PDF that they've laid out here. And I find this stuff generally interesting. And there's assumptions made, and there's dynamic hedging and all this sort of stuff. Let's see here. Market impact. Using above calculations, a positive gamma implies that market makers will hedge their position in a fashion that stifles volatility, buying into lows, selling into highs. A gamma figure that's negative implies the opposite, selling into the lows and buying into highs, thus magnifying volatility. So if we look at gamma exposure, 1100 with gamma exposure sits quite high there. So we might have some sort of a wall to really break through 1100. Josh says, love the mustache, by the way. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Raising money for Movember. Link for Movember, or it's actually just Movember.com, is in the pinned comment up there. Roblox going well. Funny you say that. I bought some Roblox calls, so weeklies, yesterday when Roblox was red and they went positive. I made like 50% on these calls. I sold when Roblox was at like $110 or $112, $11, and now it's like killing it. Like Roblox is, Roblox has been on this monster run. $123. Like, it just sucks that I left no runners on this, but profit's profit. Can you post a link to the doc? Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Here we go. Let me try to paste it in here. There we go. Check it out if you want. Check Sawyer Merit. All right, let's check. Oh, sorry, folks. Let's check Twitter, shall we? What is new here? By the way, if you watch the Canucks, you know that they suck at the moment. So not very happy about that. It is what it is. The Canucks are on this like terrible losing streak at the moment. Okay, doesn't look like there's any breaking news. Hey, hold on. Check this out. The new Supercharger is open in Merritt now. I was here this summer. I did a couple of live streams actually from Merritt, but not this Supercharger, the other one that's across the street. Good to see that it's up. But unfortunately, if you're from the lower mainland here, you know how terrible flooding has been from these torrential rainfalls and mudslides going on. So shout out, prayers go out for everyone suffering with that right now. Yeah, honestly, it's been terrible, folks. It looks like there's a buyer, and it looks like we might make a run up back to $1,100 is kind of what my gut feeling tells me right now. Should we make it past this resistance of 1095? But let's see here. We have some supply to clear off, but I think we're in pretty good shape here to close off today really strong. I've got CNBC pulled up here as well, so if they talk about Tesla, I'll be fine. Ganesan says, my son grew his mustache to get 1 million subscribers on TikTok. I didn't like it, but you are good. Wow, thank you. Much love. Scott says, you seem to be cutting your followers, your flowers. I'm not sure what that means. I think you meant followers, maybe. Okay, so, well, hold on. What Wedbush? I saw a comment about Wedbush on Fox Biz. Okay, I'll see. How does stock splits work? Okay, so listen, stock splits are, it's very easy. Okay, if Tesla announces a 5-to-1 stock split and you have 1 share of Tesla, you'll get 4 extra shares at what 20% of the price. Okay, so at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. The reason why we, and by the way, my gut feeling is totally turning out to be awful right now. 1,088 sitting on Tesla. But essentially, when a stock split happens, though, and the reason why we care is because when a stock announces a split, it's generally because management is bullish on the stock price rising even higher, getting out of touch with retail investorship. Like, for example, Amazon shares. How many people can afford a lot of Amazon shares, right? Sitting at like $3,600 or something like that. So there comes a point in time where that starts to affect your employees. And so splitting the stock, and you guys know this last August when, Tesla stock split, how much it ran. I think it ran like, someone know this for a fact, I think it ran like 50% or something like that within a month between when they announced and when the stock was going to split. And so there are some rumors going around with Tesla stock split. And someone in our Juju gang DM'd me this thread, let's see, or this tweet. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on. Bear with me. There's a lot of tinfoil theories going on here. Before I get into the tinfoil theories about the stock split and why it might be happening, why Elon is going to be putting out hints out there. Before I do that, I think it's important that we realize that the outstanding share number allowed on Tesla, I believe, is something like 2 billion shares, right? 2 billion shares. Right now, I think Tesla has outstanding close to 1 billion. And so if they were to do anything past a 2-to-1 stock split, that would require approval of the shareholders, which I'm voting yes for if no one else will. I will vote yes. I'm sure a lot of you guys will too. So when that happens, and it's a big deal for options like Paco says, absolutely. And so it can't happen immediately. Like they have to come out and say, hey, we're putting this up for a vote. And then that would have to go that would have to go through the vote and then get passed. Anyways, Adam Hoove on Twitter, who I think is a hilarious follow. Definitely go follow Adam. He's awesome. Evidence of a splitting McSplitterson is growing, much like my beautiful bangs. Herein lies the evidence with the slides for Tesla for context. Okay, so again, tinfoil hat theories on, but listen, folks, this is the type of content that that I think is funny. Okay, Elon tweeted, due to inflation, 420 has gone up by 69. It seems pretty nonchalant, right? But he breaks this down for us. This means a splitty on 12/9, December 9th, 420 plus 16. I can't even say this with a straight face. 420 plus 69 equals 49. 4 plus 8 equals 12. 9 is 9. Splitty McSplitterson on 12/9. Okay, evidence number 1. I saw Gary Black on tweet number 2 actually throwing some emojis at this. Elon tweeted 129 orbital flights. 129, 12-9, December 9th. The 3 trades at 934,091. Unscrambled to 12/9 at 4-1 stock split. Listen, folks, this doesn't get any better than this, okay? Listen, this doesn't get any better than this. So if you don't know, by the way, what is this 934,091 number? That's how many shares Elon has been selling on certain Mondays. Actually, even yesterday, he had that many shares. So it's like what is happening? What's the significance with this exact number? And by the way, anyone else, I throw this to the side, right? But this is Elon we're talking about. Like, anything is freaking possible with this guy. You don't know. You just don't know. Elon also tweeted 12 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. 12 million at liftoff. And if you count how many thrusters there are, there's 9. He also circled 9 minutes ago, but again, that's relative to him, so it doesn't really matter. Oh my god, this is so good. Okay, next, the 10B51. By the way, Tesla rising on the news of us going through this conspiracy, might I add. Next, the 10B51 plan filed on September 14th, 2021. The September 14th number, implementation day, may have relevance, but if you scramble up the numbers, you again get 120941. Wow. I guess confirmation bias is a real thing. Elon liked this tweet from September 12th. Recently, he liked it. I think a couple of days, actually on was it Monday? I think he liked this tweet from September the 12th. And again, September the 12th, flip the numbers, 12/9. There we go. And so the evidence, Adam concludes, seems to point to a December 4th split of 4-1. And Gary Black, actually, the conservative, very stoic, might I say, Gary Black, even retweeted this saying, very interesting, Adam. So someone replied saying that @Adam is our resident chief split analyst. I'm sorry, this is so funny. Okay. So, and then hold on. Gary also retweeted this one. 9 middle thrusters. This one. So it looks like everyone from the most stoic of Tesla investors to the most degenerate like I are all participating in what might be the next Tesla split. Now, here's what I think with Elon, right? I think Elon secretly probably thinks the best hint is no hint. So if you don't remember, in July, we kind of went through this already, right? We went through this already where everyone thought the stock split was happening in July on this date. And I remember so many threads and theories coming out with all these like stock split on, I think it was the middle of July. If someone remembers the actual date, let me know. But it never ended up coming to fruition. So here's my general thoughts. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's hilarious. But I also think Elon loves trolling. And so I already fell for this in July. If you guys remember this, I think we had Emmett Peppers on the channel around this time. And he was talking about how he just set up like a lotto for the split that might happen. I think we were live streaming on the day that it was kind of like rumored to be happening. And so it didn't happen. And so that's not to say it won't happen. It would be the most epic of stories if we've decoded something here. Or, not me, but, people on Twitter have decoded something again. I just think Elon knows how obvious he can be sometimes with these hints because people are looking for this generally. So, I'm not listen, I'll be happy if it happens. I just, I wouldn't bet the farm on it. That's all I'm going to say. A split for Christmas would be great, though. Alex says Elon loves giving us something to do. Hey, definitely a little bit of truth to that, I feel like. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me put up a poll. How about this? Okay, I'm going to put up a poll. And don't say yes or no yet. I'm going to put up a poll, and you guys can vote on it. Tesla stock splits 12.9. Yay or nay? Okay. Hold on. Okay. Just put up the poll. You guys are saying it makes sense for him to put up or to split the stock for new Giga employees. Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense. I just feel like it would have the opposite effect because we know when stocks split, they just generally start rising very fast. And if that were to be the case, then it would just get even more unaffordable, no? Mike, thank you for the super chat. Splits don't create value, but if you have a 5-to-1 split afterwards, wouldn't a $1 increase with a 1 share be a $1 increase across your 5 shares? So $5, yes. Well, yes, if the stock goes up by a nominal amount, then yes, you're up $5 versus 1. But that percentage, that $1 percentage is quite a lot higher now because you've split the stock, right? So $1 move on Tesla at $1,000 is 0.01% or whatever it is. And a $1 move on Tesla at if Tesla split 10-to-1 at 100 is now a 1% move. So yes, in theory, if the stock goes up by $1, you're up $5 now, but the percentage move is now a lot harder to get. Let's see what the polls say. Okay, so you guys are saying at a 66% rate, yay, that Tesla does split on December the 9th. 34% say no. Okay. I'm going to keep it running here. 202 votes. So vote on that if you haven't already. Stash on point. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate it. Movember is going on. Tyler, how's it going? Let's see here. Lord Edge unscrambles to read I split in December. Okay, 1,090 for Tesla we're sitting at right now for all my audio friends listening. 1,090 is kind of what we're flirting with for the last several minutes here. We have about 30 minutes left until power hour as we move into here. Let's see here. Okay, fine. I'm on board with the split on December the 9th, just for shits and giggles. I'm on board with it. Trust me, like I want it to happen. I guess we're gonna go with it. Rob, Yash, is there any news on your Tesla Economist video? We are waiting for a certain thing to happen before that interview. I don't want to spill the beans on as to what that will be. Let's just say we're working on it. We thought it might be this week, maybe next week, maybe the following, but nothing booked in yet. But I am in talks with Tesla Economist quite often via DM. So soon enough, but we're just waiting on one thing to drop before we do ours. And it'll all make sense after. It's not that stunning what's going to happen. Well, I mean, it might be, but it's something that I don't feel like I should be able to announce for him. Let's see here. When is Elon talking today? Right. Elon is coming up on that space interview, right? So we'll see. Let's see here. Oil is falling to a 6-week low. Okay, interesting. So we got that going. Let's check this out. Starlink IPO will give Tesla Class A shareholders first dibs, says Tesla owner. Yeah, I mean that's entirely on the table for, what is it, middle of 2022, end of 2022 is kind of the going consensus. I heard Gally from Hyperchange made a video on that. Starlink coming out with an IPO end of year next year. I don't know how they're going to work this, but I'd imagine a lot of old head Tesla shareholders are actually going to decide to take profits on Tesla to invest into Starlink. Does that have a negative effect on Tesla stock? Perhaps in the short term. I think a lot of people are waiting on the sidelines to invest into Starlink. I know I will. So, well, I guess it depends on the valuation, but I know people out there will literally invest in Starlink at any valuation. So, but it'll depend. Vern wants me to dye my mustache orange. I've never dyed my hair or my mustache or anything like that, but I don't even know how I would do that, to be honest, Vern. I don't even know how I would do that. I can go meet Kevin on you. I can dye my hair, what is it, like neon green. That's what you want. Pat says he will on Starlink as well. Yes, I definitely think a lot of folks will take some profits on Tesla and reinvest into Starlink. And this is why I almost don't know if there's something in the works with Company X. I know Elon's talked about how that's potentially a good idea. I think they're very, like, I wouldn't put it past by middle or end of next year for something to come out on Company X, just because investing in what should be these kind of two companies that kind of work hand in hand so much should be kind of, it should be synchronous, right? In a sense, it shouldn't be pick one or the other, but I guess public markets don't generally like a lot of parent companies like Alphabet. But, my bet's still kind of on, if it's going to happen, maybe Company X comes out. The Booster, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate it. NVIDIA. What about NVIDIA? What's happening with it? Yes, dye that stash orange. Don't do it. Folks, you guys pay attention to the stash too much. All right, let's start running here on Tesla, folks. $1,093 for my audio listeners on Tesla stock right now. I'm going to close this poll now, which I haven't yet. 61% of you folks think Tesla stock split happens on December the 9th. Whatever happened to Company X? Well, we don't essentially know what happened with Company X. We just know that Elon liked the idea, generally speaking, and that's kind of all we heard from it. We also don't forget, I mean, Elon did tweet, what was it, in March or April of this year, saying he wouldn't be surprised, or, putting kind of words into this, but a little bit, but he said that Tesla has a greater than 0% chance of being the biggest company in the world. And then he replied to someone else saying that, he likes the confidence, saying, maybe in a few months. And so, and then he deleted it. I should add that. So 1,094, folks, we're slowly climbing here. We're trying to fill up past the supply line, the 100 EMA we have on the 1 minute. And it looks like we will. And I'm hoping for $1,000 or $1,100 break on stream here. So let's take a look. Let me just see here. Delivery estimates for this year. There's thank you, CSZ, for the $5 super chat. Nice run, Jeremy Mustache. Appreciate it. Delivery estimates. Listen, I listen to people much smarter than I, and Troy Teslike thinks 900,000 this year is possible. Rob Maurer is at 900,000. With, I think he had, last time I checked, he had a little bit of production from Berlin and Austin mixed in there. But it's folks, it's really looking like 900,000 is almost imminent. And if 900,000 is imminent, just think about this. Just pause for a second and think, if Tesla just went from 500,000 to 900,000, which is an 80% growth year over year deliveries, 80%, but did it on 0 new factories, right? Everyone thought Berlin was going to go live in spring or summer. Everyone thought Austin would be live by now. Maybe the more optimists than us did. If Tesla grows 80% delivery growth year over year with 0 new factories, that's nuts. Vern, that's for your Meet Kevin hair dye. If you do it, I'll donate $150 to your Movember campaign. Oh, Vern. Really making me work. I appreciate the super chat. 18 euros. Thank you, Vern. I appreciate the support as always. I'm going to have to think about that. I'm going to have to ask the girlfriend about that. But listen, 80% year over year growth in deliveries, right? That's nuts. Rob says Rob had 900K without Berlin and Austin. Okay, so I guess I'm thinking he was talking about No, because I think Rob never really thought Berlin and Austin were going to be like, I don't think he planned on Berlin and Austin combining for more than 50K at all at any point this year. Could be wrong. But folks, 80% year over year growth in deliveries. When Berlin and Austin come online, and remember, in the first month that they come online, don't expect too much. There's going to be, some manufacturing runs. There's going to be some, fixing of machine lines and all this sort of stuff. Like, there's going to be some fine tuning happening, and not every factory is going to ramp up in the speed, at the speed that Shanghai has. Like, man, look at Shanghai. It's the epitome of manufacturing, right? It's the epitome China is in general. It's the epitome of what any manufacturing country tries to become, and China does it so well. It's just nuts. And there are rumors about the $25,000. I see a comment here about the $25,000 model, whatever you want to call it, Q or whatever, coming out. And it's looking more and more likely that that's probably obviously going to be from a second production line or something in Shanghai or another factory there. There's some rumors about that. So Chris brings up a good point. Chris says, will people postponing deliveries until 2022 get credit? Lower fourth quarter deliveries total. Now, I thought about this as well. If you don't know, the EV tax credit rebate that is likely going to get passed by Christmas, it doesn't look like, and let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, it doesn't look like it's going to be retroactive, meaning it'll start from January 1st. Meaning if you go buy an electric vehicle on December 31st, you don't get the rebate. If you buy it the following day, you'll get that rebate. And so it brings up this question of, okay, well, if the rebate is going to be not, if the rebate is going to be not retroactive, do we see a dampening of people wanting to take deliveries in the fourth quarter in the US? Potentially. And I think that's something to take in consideration as a downside risk if you're holding calls or options for the fourth quarter. That being said, there's a long list of people waiting for cars. So I'd hazard a guess to say that Tesla would be able to find someone else should they give a promo out. So I kind of did the math on this. $200 a month is FSD subscription, right? $200 a month. And so it's what, $2,400 for the year. If Tesla gave someone 2 years of free FSD, if you take delivery before the quarter four, maybe that makes that person feel a little bit better that, hey, I'm not getting $8,000 off this car, but I'm getting, $5,000 or $6,000 worth of value. So this is kind of the stuff that Tesla can do with no incremental variable cost, is just give up software updates as a promo. And Tesla did this, I think, in quarter. Actually, Tesla did this only a couple of weeks after we took delivery last year in December, where they gave 2 months worth of full self-driving subscription, or 3 months worth of full self-driving subscription. And so if you want to do the math, that's about a $600 value there, right? So Tesla can be agile where other autos potentially can't be, in the sense that they can give out software as potentially a promo. So T-Mac, thank you for the $11 super chat. Hopefully we finish at $1,100 here. Once they demonstrate successful mass production of front and rear single castings with the structural 4680 packs, Tesla will skyrocket, and this could happen any week now. That's very exciting. I mean, yeah, I don't even talk about the single castings very often, but it's so true. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. You think Tesla has good margins now with 30% gross margins, 14 point something percent operating margins. Just wait until we actually get these new age factories off the ground and fully ramped. It's going to be nuts. So part of me wants to just, and what's that quote? You're never supposed to wish away time. I just want to zoom out I want to fast forward 1 year, just, for a second, and come back and see how much progress Tesla's made, because I think it's going to be exponential. Exponential growth happens so fast, right? So Vern says, have you ever tried delaying your Tesla delivery? I've purchased 5 Teslas. I've tried to delay 2 previously, responded with, we'll get your car to someone else and be back of the queue. That sounds about right. We did the opposite. We tried taking delivery as fast as possible. But this was 12 months ago now. But that sounds about right. If you also, I think if you reject, or there used to be a rule that if you take delivery and you utilize your 7-day refund, whatever, if you guys remember that, Tesla used to have a 7-day refund policy, right? You could return your car, that you wouldn't be able to order the same car again. So I'd imagine putting you to the back of the line probably makes logistical sense, because Tesla doesn't want to incentivize people to just be putting it off. So Tim says free supercharging for a year would be a great perk. That's very true. I mean, we have free supercharging for a year, and it's expiring in about a month here. And the marginal cost, the variable cost for Tesla is not very high for free supercharging for a year. I mean, you'd be surprised how little supercharging gets used, generally speaking, in the city. And if you do road trips, even then, it's not a huge cost to give away as a promo. But what's funny is supercharging has the most disproportionate amount of cost to reward. When you get free supercharging for a year, or when I've been telling my friends that, oh, I got free supercharging for a year, they think the value of that reward is ultra high. Like they think that's like, whoa, that's like massive. You got freeze charging for a year. That's got to be worth in the thousands. And really, if you run the numbers, it's worth less than I think $500 all in all. And that's if you use supercharging solely, right? So the cost of supercharging is not very high, relatively speaking. Let's see here. When will Fremont get 4680s? I don't think anytime soon, to be honest. I think the Cato Road 4680s are going to be going to Texas. Someone tell me if I'm wrong on that. And I think battery packs from Shanghai are going to be going to Berlin. But yeah. That's true. Dan says Hertz are buying up anything that comes up for delivery. That's true. And Hertz could definitely, that's true. I mean, Hertz could definitely satiate a lot of that demand or a lot of that supply towards the end of this year. That's true. That's true. 1,094 sitting on Tesla here, folks. It looks like we're about to break up. It's my gut feeling here. I want to see, selfishly, I want to see $1,100 plus close today. But, you know, granted, we're up 3.6% for the day. So, you know, all of this is kind of gravy. Two green days in a row while Elon is selling. You know, something to take into consideration there. Let's see here. Lucid is back down to $52 here, just dumping at the close. Lucid down 6.3% on the day. Rivian down 15% on the day to $146. You guys will have noticed. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. Hey, it's Mustachio with the stash, that beard. Nice dad joke. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. You guys have noticed Nicola's on this, and Nicola's great on the news that there's other EV companies collapsing today in stock price. I don't get how... Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. 1,094 sitting on Tesla stock. Let's break that $1,100, shall we? Let's see here. Elon said 4680s from Fremont will be enough to supply S and X's at Fremont. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Eventually. I'm really excited about the 4680s. Like, there's been a lot of FUD about the 4680s and how, you know, it might not come to fruition, the 2022, and it's all just, you know, it is what it is. But if you really take a peek at a lot of the insiders talking inside of Tesla, leaking out info, you really get the sense that the 4680s are a lot closer than we even think they are. And, you know, although I like to be more conservative on the side and think, okay, mid to end of 2022, we'll see Cybertrucks coming out. You know, the first Cybertruck, which I'd wish that we would have had out sometime this year, not looking like it's going to happen. It's going to be a big pivotal changing point. And I think maybe Elon is playing 4D chess and letting Rivian come out and, you know, other companies come out with their little trucks and, you know, test out the market and kind of be a pioneer in the space for a couple quarters to see what the general consensus is about EVs before they come out with theirs. So definitely possible. $1,097 on Tesla. Okay, folks, let's go. Break up. We've got a couple bucks here to $1,100 again. Let me just pull up the Algo flow for a second and let's take a look. Let's see here. How is Algo flow looking on Tesla? Let's pull this up. $1,097 sitting on Tesla, folks. It looks like we're probably going to break $1,100 here. Let's see here. Let's check out the Algo flow. So again, the bullish Algo flow continues on Tesla. And if we were to extrapolate this out, it's saying the mean reversion for a bull Algo flow on Tesla is somewhere around 1110-ish on Tesla. So take that with a grain of salt, but it does look like we're about to test the 1,100 level again. But remember, $1,100 carries significant positive gamma at that strike. So if that means anything, that means that there's going to be dampening effects in and around that strike. So, and volume is, what is volume anyways? Volume hasn't moved, hey? I mean, 29.5 million the whole, pretty much the whole time. The last 5-minute candle, we had 183,000 shares traded. So not heavy volume just yet kicking in. Maybe we'll see that in the next 10 minutes here to power hour. So we'll see. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are all within 1% from all-time highs. So just crazy. I mean, you could just literally buy the S&P 500, not worry about anything else. So let's see here. Let's see, 1,094 sitting on Tesla stock. Sanju says, don't dye it neon yellow. Okay, there we go. By the way, if you're part of the Juju gang and you're part of our Discord and you're listening and have your attention, we are doing a crypto group call today at 5:30 Pacific. So if you're part of the Juju gang already, we're going to be talking with our regular kind of crypto crew that we have about NFTs, the crypto market in general, other things that come up that Concord and Tyler, our mod here, are going to be running as well. So if you're part of the Juju gang, feel free to join us in that. 1,094 sitting on Tesla. We need volume here, folks. I don't think necessarily we have a lot of volume. Let's check the algo options. Let's check the options order flow for a second here, and let's see what comes up. Let's see here. So we just got a Tesla call sweep. It was a sell order because it was filled at the bid for 1,000. Okay, we just got a Tesla call sweep above the ask for 1135 strike for this week. And premiums are pretty low here, 35,000. I'm going to change the premiums if I can. Let's do only sweeps and only stuff that's over 1 million. Let's just see what's coming. We had a lot of put closings today, about $10 million worth of puts closed for 1,700 strike puts for January 2024. We had some call buying, $2.98 million worth of Tesla call sweeps for 950. So this is in the money. Let me just select out of money as well. And let's see what's happened here. So just generally mixed order flow today. But I mean, generally speaking, a lot of action going on in Tesla. So let me see here. And remember, it is options expiration Friday, this Friday, meaning the monthly options market is having their options expire. So that will bring with it more volatility than normally a week will. So that's something to keep into consideration as well. William Wu says, I'm so old that I will donate most of my Tesla stocks to the Amazon forest. That's awesome. Very, very nice of you. Your face is different, Yashu. Yes, Valerian, I got the Movember stash on. Welcome, Jettree. Okay, last 10 minutes here, folks. 1,092 sitting on Tesla here. Macro markets are looking decent. Let me just pull up the S&P 500. After that short drop that we had, they're looking like they've picked up here, but a little bit choppy on the downside. And let me just pull up the main. Roku is down 11% on the day, 11.5%, just absolutely getting beaten down. PayPal is down 5% for the day. Palantir is down 3% for the day. Just a lot of blood in the water for a lot of growth stocks today. And not for Apple. Apple's up 2% on the day on the Santa Claus rally. Tesla, again, as we know, Tesla's up 3.5% on the day, 1,091 sitting on Tesla. So just mixed reaction. I don't really know what's happening with this market today. It just feels like there's no consistency or congruency at all to these stocks. And so we have a lot of, I almost want to call it like individual stories going on and individual like lines of thought. Tesla is doing its own thing with Elon. Palantir doing its weird thing with earnings, with their earnings call. PayPal still trying to figure out if they want to acquire Pinterest. Last time I checked, Nvidia down 3%. All of the semiconductors were doing quite well though, so maybe a healthy break. But at the same time, you have big names like Apple up 2%. So just an interesting market overall. Just no direction other than we're percent away from all-time highs. So Ben, thank you for the super chat. Dye your hair, bro. You folks really want me to dye my hair. I'm telling you, Abby will not be happy about that. She will not be happy about that. if I were to dye my hair, I'd probably dye my hair like maybe like bleach blonde. I think that'd be hilarious. Susan says no. Caps, yes, no. I think Abby would agree with you. 1,090 sitting on Tesla here, folks. Pretty decent day. I mean, if you told me yesterday or the day before when we were red that or we were under $1,000 that we'd be sitting at 1,090 today, I think we'd be all quite happy with that. All things being equal. Blonde is acceptable. I won't. Hey, Michael. Thank you, Michael, for joining the Investor Club on our YouTube membership. Feel free to connect your Discord with your YouTube account and you can come in. You could use Halloween hair color spray. That's true. I potentially could. Listen, I also don't need a rip off Meet Kevin with his thing. Like, he's got his own cool thing going on. I don't need to rip him off, but kudos to Kevin for going out and doing what he did. But yeah, it kind of screams midlife crisis to me, and maybe that's where I am. But we'll see. You guys are hilarious. So how do you guys come up with this sort of stuff? At $1,500, do it. 1,090 sitting on Tesla. We have 7 minutes to go here. CNBC is talking about Roku. We're going to find out probably at 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific again whether or not Elon sold any shares. So we'll find out about that. My guess is that he probably sold another 934,091 shares. So we'll see. John, welcome. Don't worry. You can rewind the stream and rewatch as well. Thanks, Paco. Are you already in the middle of your lifespan? No, Jerome, just tongue in cheek. Thank you, Arsing, for the recommendation. Dan says we're all waiting for that 24-hour live stream. I'm waiting for it too. At this point, here's the thing. I kind of sold myself short. I said that I would consider it as like something I could set up once Tesla hits $1,000, to get Tesla to that $1,000 level. And hey, Bahadir, thanks for the super chat. 499 euros. Finally started with Tesla options. Bought leaps in 2024 January. 240 strike. Thanks, Yashu. Wow, nice. First time options buyer. That's awesome, Bahadir. January 2024, 2400 strike. For about 13 grand ish. 13 grand. Yeah. 13 grand, 2400 strike. You have till January 2024. What do these look like in a chart for a hot second? These were trading for as much as 20 grand when we were rallying up. So, should we see that gamma squeeze again? These can appreciate fast. But like I was saying, oh man. Oh yeah, the 24-hour live stream. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. I thought about it, and I feel like I talk too much for a 24-hour live stream. You kind of go on streams with some folks. And by the way, 5 minutes left until market close here. 1,092 sitting on Tesla stock. I talk too much. I realize that I go to some streams and they have it good. They talk quite slow. They do a good job of pacing themselves. I get too excited. I'm too ADD. If I were to go for 24 hours, I'd have to learn how to pace myself, to be quite honest with you folks. I mean, what we do I think the longest live stream we did was last quarterly earnings. I was live for like 4 hours or something. That was a lot of work mentally. Laurie says, no, I talk too little. I mean, it's possible. I just have to do some learning if that's going to happen. Pacing is for quitters. Honestly, that's kind of, hey, we got it's power hour for a reason, right? I got to bring the power into this hour, right? If I were to just chill out for an hour, I don't feel like I'd have the same amount of energy. $1,092 sitting on Tesla stock. Corey says, man, your banter is good. You've got the gift of gab. Thank you, Corey. 24 hours with multiple hosts could work. So here's the thing. Here's what I could do is if I were able to book like 10 people to come on at certain allotted scheduled times, I'd have to get people to agree to come on in the middle of the night too. Like Tesla Economist is in New Zealand, right? So his time zone differences are compatible with that 24 hours, right? So something to think about there, man, though. $1,093 sitting on Tesla stock, folks. Yes, if you missed it, I'm growing a stash for Movember. And link for Movember donation is in the Patreon. It's not my donation link. It's just the general Movember donation link. I didn't set up one for myself with a photo and all that stuff. I didn't need that. Just go donate on their site. Let's see here. Nothing wrong with saying it's human, says Josh. Listen, if you don't like my ums, you won't like it on here. It's just the name of the game of what I do. So I'll try to help it a little bit, but it is what it is. You said 1,090. Okay, we got 2 minutes here left till close. 1,092 sitting on Tesla stock. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to see. I think 1,090 is quite sticky here. By the way, all-time highs, right, all-time highs on Tesla stock is $1,243. Something to keep in the back of your head. So we'll see. 1,090 is still green, absolutely. Isn't it super early? Yeah. I guess. Well, I mean, in the middle of the night here would be probably pretty good timing there. Let's see here. 1,090 and the options market is very interesting as well. If you look at this week's options chain, you'll see that even the 1200s are only $1.50. $1.50. $1.50 are 1200 strike calls for this week, and they only have a delta of 3%. If I were to go $100 on the downside on, let's say, the 990 puts, those are only 88 cents. So we still have some upside bias priced in, but not a lot, mind you. Premiums have just massively decayed for this week. But if you're holding weekly calls on this massive jump up that we've had, doing quite well. Let's see here. Thank you, Gonzalo. Welcome. 1,090. Yeah, premium is weird. It's like if you go out a couple of months, you'll see that there's like not a lot of premium baked in the call side. A lot, as it was even like a couple of weeks ago when we were sitting at $1,200. Back then, premium was fat. So, don't know. 30 seconds left here. We got 10 seconds left here. 1,089 sitting on Tesla stock. Let's see here. 1,089. There we go. Tesla. We have more. Stock market is closed. Tesla closed at 1,089.22 cents, or actually, the settled price is 1,089.01. Pretty good day, up 3.3% on Tesla stock. Let's see how the rest of the day or rest of the week shapes up here. Today's Wednesday. So we got a couple of days left here into trading. Generally speaking, the only real thing we're waiting on right now for Tesla related is to figure out when Elon might be done selling his shares. I don't even think Elon knows yet when he's going to be done selling his shares. So there's that. And so, we'll find out. Well, someone's done the math already and the calculus on this and figured out that, listen, if we continue at the pace we're going, we got about 9 days worth of selling left. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. 1190 was our magnet for the day, indeed. You guys are asking about Elon giving us split clues. If you missed it earlier on this stream, I kind of went down the rabbit hole of split theories and a really awesome Twitter thread. Go rewind to that. I think you'll like it, but only if you have your tinfoil hat on. So we'll see. Watch the after hours price dump to the high 80s. Yeah, don't worry too much, honestly, about the after hours trading unless there is one, volume, or two, significant material news that comes out after hours. For the most part, not anything materially to look at. But if there is volume that starts kicking in, or Elon releases his forms and then after hours trading picks up steam from there, then yes. But otherwise, don't really pay attention too much to it. At least that's what I say. And then you guys call me out all the time and say, Yash, why are you paying so much attention to the after hours trading volume? And I get it. Okay. That's the stream, folks. Welcome. If you're new, if you're old, I appreciate you tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe if you like this sort of content. I thought I was going to be putting out a reaction video today, but I guess I didn't. And I'll probably have one out tomorrow. I kind of want to do a debrief on Tesla, on Elon's shares and what that means potentially for the stock price. I was going to do a split theory video, but I don't think I need to do that since I covered it already. So you know, where they're there. Dance's news, their new remote feature activated heated seats. I'll have to check that out. We already have heated seats. Maybe it's the back seats. I'm not sure. But good day in Tesla trading, folks, or in Tesla stock price, 1,089, finishing the day up 3.3%. So the more green days that we can put up together, obviously, we'll be able to make up on some of the lost share price. But at the end of the day, fundamentals are looking very strong. We're just waiting on Berlin and Austin to come online for the step changes to happen in Tesla stock. And I think everyone is on their toes just waiting for what's going to be massive with those 2 new factories coming online, right? So, all right, guys, much love. Thanks for tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe on your way out if you like the content. If you want to join the Juju Gang, link for Patreon is in the description. And remember, go support Movember and donate to Men's Health. Link is in the description as well. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Yash signing off. Peace.